Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 26th of April, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar. Dollar just holding steady here, but getting to an interesting point on the cloud on the medium-term chart. So for the first time in quite some time, we're seeing the potential for the dollar to get back into a medium-term bullish trend. And with the euro sinking lower, of course, that means the euro is testing the cloud from above. So very critical times for the euro and the dollar. Against the yen, similar picture really. Dollar just starting to test the cloud levels. So it will be interesting to see. We'll probably face some resistance here, but ultimately, can we get through the cloud? Sterling is lower, still below the 140 level, and again testing its cloud against the dollar as well. So it's all about dollar strength at the moment. Against the euro, sterling slightly stronger, but only slightly. Against the Swiss franc, also just above the cloud on the short-term chart, just slightly stronger. And against the Aussie dollar, sitting at this 184 level. Bitcoin is we had a pretty bad day yesterday, falling back from the high 9,000s to below 9,000, and we're back below the cloud in the short term, and we have some downside targets, 1 of 2%, 1 of 9% not activated to just to below 8,000, but again that's not activated yet, but it is looking bearish short term. The S&P 500 index is was up slightly overnight. All US indices really just up very slightly. The Nasdaq also just recovering slightly, but still looking worrying from a medium and short-term chart point of view. The Dow was up 0.25%, but again it's bearish below the cloud on the medium and short-term chart. So the market turmoil in the US looks set to continue just based on these cloud positions. And we're looking at the Russell 2000 index, the broader base index, not quite bearish yet. So this is the only index that's really holding the bullish position on all three charts, but we do have downside targets there as well. The future down very slightly on the S&P this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini up very slightly, so a bit hard to call which way the market will open. The FTSE 100 is had a little change this morning. Market's just opening in a moment, and the FTSE 250 again just sitting on the cloud short term, so looking slightly better than the US market, which is unusual. Looking at the Xetra DAX, we're down 1% this morning, so not looking as good, and the CAC 40 is fairly flat, but medium term looking better than the DAX. The DAX short term is still bearish and medium term bearish. The CAC 40, strangely, is actually looking better on the medium and short term chart. Japanese market was up slightly overnight, still looking quite good short term. Medium term has work to do, and the Hang Seng index sinking lower, so that's looking a bit worrying. And China is still our sort of big worry here. Medium term is bearish, short term is bearish, and long term just starting to look quite bearish. So Chinese stocks could be the worry to keep an eye out for. Sensex in the Indian market is actually climbing, and the Australian market, having come back from Anzac Day, was down very slightly. Taking a look at Brent crude, we're sitting at $74, so we're holding the bull trend, and WTI also just coming back to the bull trend on the cloud. And if we look at US nat gas, just sitting at $2.78, not much change there. Gold is up off its lows, but still got work to do to get through the cloud. Very much in this sideways range, waiting for the break. And of course, the targets all suggest this will be up. We do have some downside targets hanging over us, though, and that stronger dollar isn't helping. Looking at silver, much the same picture, of course. US 10-year yields holding the 3% level. We were as high as 303, but the key thing is we're sitting above the 3% level. It looks like a foregone conclusion that we're going to get used to rates above 3%. The bond market really in turmoil, and we're seeing the German Bund just sinking lower and the long-term chart looking bearish. So we are seeing that deterioration in the bond market showing through. Apple was lower, so we're seeing here just bearish below the cloud. Amazon also just heading lower, We're just really just trying to hold the short-term cloud position. Google was up slightly, but none of these stocks really recovering very strongly. Facebook actually was interesting. They were down yesterday, but the the results came out last night. Very strong results from Facebook, and we saw post-market trading of several percent higher. So it'll be interesting to see whether Facebook can hold these gains today at the market open. And then Microsoft also was off. So tech's still looking quite worrying, and Microsoft bearish below the cloud for the first time in a little while. So just struggling, all these stocks just struggling to make new highs. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.